the Field. I'm Maria Serrao. Well, it has been 42 years since the Major League Baseball All Star Game has been played at Dodger Stadium, but lo and behold, it is finally back. Now, today I am at something called Play Ball Park, which is really an interactive baseball Disneyland for all baseball fans, really of all ages. I'm going to take you through here, and of course, you're going to meet the All-Stars up close and personal. All this and more coming up on this episode of Playing the Field. Don't go away. MLB All Star Game that I decided to invite back the one, the only, Nick Hamilton to help me break it all down. You know him from Nightcast Media and, of course, MLB Bro. Nick, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, thank you for having me, Maria. It's a lot going on out here.
I mean, there is so much going on. You and I have been here for a few days now. We are sitting in Play Ball Park, which is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. If you haven't had a chance to come down here, you've got to come down here before it all wraps up because you're going to miss out on one of the grandest stages of them all here at Play Ball Park.
Absolutely. Now, Nick, it has been 42 years since the All-Star Game is back at Dodger Stadium. And, you know, 42 is such a special number in baseball that I just had to kind of bring that up to some of the players and even to you because it was supposed to be 40 years. Then we had the pandemic. Now it's 42. Is this a mystical Jackie Robinson kind of thing going on here?
You know what? It's interesting that you bring that up because I think the baseball gods in the universe made sure that 42 was going to be honored, especially this year being the 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking MLB's color barrier, and the fact that it's here in Los Angeles, home of the Dodgers. The Dodgers have always been on the cusp of breaking in new talent, obviously breaking color barriers and barriers of all kinds. So it's only fitting that we have it here in LA.
And we have the Jackie Robinson statue in Dodger Stadium.
Yes, and here at Play Ball Park as well. Great exhibit.
And you know that for the most part, baseball players are kind of superstitious. So does that mean the National League might have a little edge maybe this year?
I think they do. I really think they do. I mean, we're at National League Ballpark, one of the greatest ballparks in all of Major League Baseball, in Dodger Stadium, Blue Heaven, as we like to call it here in Los Angeles. So why not?
Why not? Now, we just talked about this amazing playground that we are sitting in, and literally you can really play baseball here. I mean, we saw kids enjoying themselves. They had batting practice. They were playing video games. I mean, any baseball, anything is here.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I love the fact not only the kids, but the parents, young, old people, and also, too, the great thing about it is they get to highlight the Compton teams for MLB Youth Academy in Compton, California, and allowing them the opportunity to come here to be a part of this great event and highlighting what they're doing in communities of color, especially here in Southern California.
And I love that we had kids from the Boys and Girls Club also participating this morning because I don't care what city you live in, the Boys and Girls Clubs do such a great job, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, really immersing kids in sports and keeping them on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. All right, Nick, it is a huge honor, of course, to be an All-Star, and we've got some pretty spectacular All-Stars in the game this year. There's always a few that get left out, but we need to talk about the Angels and the Dodgers who are going to be represented this year. Now, for the Dodgers, we had 4, including Clayton Kershaw, Tony Gonsolin, Mookie Betts, and Trey Turner, but you just heard another one was added.
Yeah, another one is added, Tyler Anderson, who's also had an incredible year on the mound next to Tony Gonsolin, so congratulations to him.
Congratulations. Now, we don't know yet if Clayton Kershaw is going to be the starter, but after the performance he gave last night at Angel Stadium, I have to think that he might be.
Well, you know what? It's only fitting. That would be great. He only needs to pitch 1 inning, have Clayton Kershaw for the National League, and then also have Shohei Ohtani for the American League that represents the Angels. Why wouldn't you do that if you're Southern California? Come on, MLB, let's get it together.
I mean, come on. And of course, the great Mike Trout will also be representing the Angels. So you've got Ohtani and Trout, and then all the great Dodgers. This is going to be so much fun for Southern California fans.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad that Mookie Betts has come off an injury. He's definitely made a significant impact. Once again, leading vote getter for the National League. So I think it's going to be great to see Mookie Betts here at Dodger Stadium. We got a chance to talk to Justin Turner as well.
We did.
And how excited he was just to be able to play on a team that has hosted an All-Star game, because he grew up here in Southern California, Long Beach, California, to be exact.
That's right, and there's also going to be so many other players, but really here in Southern California, we really just care about the Angels and the Dodgers. You know that. Why not?
I mean, here, we're in Southern California. We are the host city in Los Angeles.
Right.
It's all about Dodger Blue. It's all about Angels Red, and then everybody else.
That's true. Now, the commissioner did add 2 very special players this year. He added 2 legends in Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera, and you know that Albert is near and dear to my heart. I love him. He does so much for the community, and really he gives back so much during his career, and this is his last year. And Miguel Cabrera, of course, one of the greats in the game. So I love the fact that they're going to be out here participating in the game.
Well, I don't. I think they wasted 2 spots. And I know that's no disrespect to Albert Pujols or Miguel Cabrera, because I think they're 2 great players, obviously future Hall of Famers. But at the same time, Albert Pujols, we know what he's done. We know the home runs that he's hitting. Obviously, he's going to be in the home run derby, which we'll get into later.
That's right.
But also Miguel Cabrera and the outstanding job. He's nowhere near retirement that we know about right now. So I think those 2 spots could have went to other guys like a Will Smith, who's well-deserving of that award. And then there's a couple of other snubs. Josh Bell from the Washington Nationals that should have been in that space as well. So I'm not too keen on having the legends just because they're retiring. Congratulations. We'll send them off in MLB fashion, but not right now.
Well, that's always point counterpoint with us, so it works out because I'm excited to see them in there. I'm excited. All right, now, one of the most exciting things about the All-Star Game is you never know with all these events going on who you're going to run into. And this morning, we had a chance to run into these Dodger greats. Let's take a look. You are a true representative not only of the Dodgers, but of the game. What's it been like for you to be out here?
It's unbelievable. I got a chance to play in a few All-Star games myself, and you miss all this side of it when you're playing, because you come in, late Sunday night, and by Tuesday after the game, you're right back to wherever you're going, next city, maybe a day off somewhere. But you miss so much of this, and it's great being on this side now and getting to see what goes on, the fans' perspective of it. But at the same time, it's representing the city of LA. I know it's a long time coming, 42 years plus the little interruption we had with COVID and pushing this game back and being hosted here. And I don't think there's a better place for the Midsummer Classic to happen than the best place for summer, which is LA and Southern California.
Andre, it's been 42 years. 42 is such a significant number. I know that everybody is a little superstitious. What is that?
I don't know, and that's crazy to think, 40 years, I'm 40 years old, and the game hasn't been here before I was even born. But yeah, 42, I mean, we know, and I tell this, I had a chance to rock some kids around the stadium yesterday, and I told them, I said, how unbelievable is it that I get to put on the same Dodger uniform, the same Dodger across my chest, as players of Jackie Robinson, as Don Newcomb, as Gilliam, as Sandy Koufax, of all these great Dodger players, I got a chance to put on that same Dodger uniform. So there's players before you, there's players now, and there's players after you that are going to keep representing this city, representing this team, and that's unbelievable to be a part of.
Yeah, well, I wasn't around the last time the All-Star Game was here, so this is pretty special. Like I said earlier, getting the opportunity to showcase the city, turn LA Live, which is notoriously a concert, basketball, and hockey venue, into a baseball venue is extremely special. And I've already walked into the convention center and seen a lot of the stuff they've done in there, which is just absolutely spectacular. I know if I was a kid and had the opportunity to come here, I would be just, drooling over all the cool stuff in there. So it should be an exciting week, and I think it's going to be good for the city of Los Angeles and helping grow our great game of baseball.
You know what it's like to play in an All-Star Game. Which moments do you remember the most being in the game and sitting next to guys that you normally play against?
Yeah, it's not so much the in-game moments, right? I think that's just baseball. We do that every day. I think it's more the conversations in the locker room and the conversations on the bench, talking to different guys from different organizations that you have this kind of perception of from playing against them across the field, and now you get a chance to sit next to them and find out who they really are. I think that's the really special thing.
How cool is it to see Albert Pujols playing in the Home Run Derby?
Yeah, that is awesome. We were just in St. Louis, and I had a chance to talk to Albert for a little bit, and I know he's excited, and I know he's going to put on a good show, and I'm rooting for him. I told him to slide a little note to Commissioner Manfred and ask him if his Home Run Derby homers will count towards his total so he can get to that 700 number, but he started laughing. I think he's going to try to do it the regular way.
Lastly, the number 42 is so significant in baseball. How strange is it that it ended up being 42 years?
Yeah, I think it's just, the stars have lined up, right? 42 years, the anniversary of Jackie Robinson, everything that Jackie means not only to this organization, but to Major League Baseball and to the country, really, for breaking down barriers that, we had a really hard time breaking. And I think, like you said, everything has kind of allied, and it's so symbolic, this All-Star game, that, hopefully we make Jackie proud.
And Nick, it's always fun for us to catch up with Justin Turner and Andre Ethier, who is a Dodger great, and he is such a great representative for the Dodgers and really all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always a great representation, especially also with Stan Kasten being out there as well, the Dodgers CEO. So it's always great to see those guys out and really giving the fans an opportunity to see them up close and personal. And
Steve Garvey is so beloved that we couldn't even get to Steve Garvey, okay, because he was just mobbed by the fans and, of course, all the media that wanted to talk to him back. I have a feeling I'll catch up with Steve a little bit later.
Yeah, knowing you probably will.
I'll find him. Now, you did have a chance to also speak with Tony Regans, who now works for Major League Baseball. He was also the general manager with the Los Angeles Angels, so I've known him for a long time. But, you had talked to him about African Americans really getting more opportunities in baseball. What did he have to say about that?
Well, it was always an honor and a privilege to talk to Tony Regans, former Angels general manager.
Yes.
Now he has a very lucrative position with Major League Baseball, and I always congratulated him on having that position because we need more black folks inside to be able to make decisions and have influence as far as making the decisions for more black people to have presidents of baseball operations, general managers, anything of upper management positions.
Absolutely.
And so what he told me is that, hey, it took me 17 years to even get a general manager position with the Major League Baseball club. And I thought to myself, that's absolutely astonishing, the fact that it took him 17 years of this great game that we all love for him to move up the ranks. And how many other former black players or just black folks in general have had the opportunity and been skipped over to get a general manager position or a president of baseball operations position.
Well, and you and I have talked about diversity and inclusion for a long time. You can't just talk about it. You actually have to put it into action.
Yes.
And even for former players that want to move on in baseball, we need that. We absolutely 100% need that. They're not done even after their careers on the field. They need to get more involved so that it's visible.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you look at ownership. I mean, we have one black person that's part of ownership, which happens to be here, the Los Angeles Dodgers with Magic Johnson.
That's
but then let's go down a bit and we look at the executive level. How many black people and black women, men and women, are part of the executive level? Like I said, being general managers, being presidents, being upper management positions. I mean, we already have a problem with not enough black American baseball players in MLB already because the numbers are significantly low. So how do we change that, and then how do we change on the upper management front? You can't get more black American baseball players if you don't have those in positions of power and influence to be able to find these prospects and bring them up to the major leagues. We see a Hunter Green. We know about a Joe Adele. We see what J.P. Crawford has done. We've seen other guys, a Josh Bell in Washington. Guys have given opportunities, but there are way more guys given opportunities that need to be seen and need to be thrusted out there.
Now, how do you think that kids can get more involved? Is it going to the Boys and Girls Clubs? What do you think?
I think it's pricing. Like Deion Sanders made a great point. It's about pricing and being showcased so others across the country can see you. But for the average family, especially comes from black and urban communities, may not be able to afford it because baseball is a very expensive game. I mean, even talking to Tony Regans, he said, hey, I just paid $400 for a bat and a glove for my kids. And we all know Tony Regans can more than likely afford it, but how many other working families can afford that? So I think Major League Baseball, I like what the Players Alliance is doing.
Yes,
I like
huge.
what the Youth Academy is doing. And then they're going to have to be players as well as these sponsors like Nike and others are going to have to start investing in these communities. And Major League Baseball is going to have to do a much better job marketing these athletes and marketing these future stars like we saw in the 70s and the 80s and part of the early 90s.
Well, and we know how much those Nikes are. They're not cheap, Nick. Nick has a few pairs of them, so, right?
And you do know that.
Yes, I do. I certainly do. Now, so that everybody can see all of your great interviews, especially the one with Tony Regan's, where can they find you on Instagram at?
You can find me on Instagram at Nick Hamilton LA and on Twitter at Nick Hamilton 213 and also at MLBBro.com.
All right, we're going to come right back. Can we get you to stick around for one more segment?
Absolutely, only for you.
Okay, it's Maria Serrao. You're watching Playing the Field. We'll be right back.
2017 All-Star, third baseman from your Los Angeles Dodgers, Justin Turner. Two-time All-Star and former Los Angeles Dodgers All-Star outfielder, Andre Ethier. Two-time All-Star Game MVP and World Series champ from your Los Angeles Dodgers, Mr. Steve Garvey.
In addition to the big All-Star Game, there are so many other events going on. We've got Home Run Derby, we've got Celebrity Softball, we've got high school athletes playing at Dodger Stadium. I mean, you name it, they've got it.
Absolutely. You got the MLB draft that's going to be here.
That's right.
You have the Futures game that's going to be here.
All right, now Home Run Derby is going to have 8 incredible athletes in the Home Run Derby, including Albert Pujols, okay? I know that he's the old guy. Albert, you know I love ya. But we've got so many great athletes like Kyle Schwarber, Juan Soto, who is fantastic, Jose Ramirez, Pete Alonso. Didn't he win? I think he's won that event before. Ronald Acuna Jr., Corey Seager. Corey Seager is back. And, of course, rounding it out, Julio Rodriguez. Who do you think is going to take this event?
I got to go between my man Ronald Acuna Jr., maybe Corey Seager.
I think Corey Seager's going to take it.
He is familiar with the ballpark. He is a former Dodger, now Texas Ranger. But I think Ronald Acuna Jr. may be able to take it this year. Who knows?
Well, it's going to be exciting to watch those guys. I think it's probably the most exciting part of this whole All-Star Week. I think so.
Well, I think that's part of it. And also, too, like we mentioned earlier in the last segment, I think also looking at the fact that we have a potential matchup between Clayton Kershaw and Shohei Ohtani in the MLB All Star Game.
Too.
Yeah.
But we won't know that for a while, and that would be a great matchup, that's for sure.
Fingers crossed.
We're keeping our fingers crossed. All right. There are so many incredible All-Stars, and of course, I had a chance to sit down with many of them, so let's take a look.
You know, it's super cool. You know, that shows you like we have a really good team. You know, and we're playing really well. We're playing. That's why we're so hard to beat. You know, we're all playing well. But there's some other guys on our team that aren't here that are very deserving of being here as well. And so that just shows you that, like I said, we have a really, really good team. It's fun. You know, it's fun. You know, I think sometimes it's good to kind of put your differences aside and be on the same team. Not that anything's going on between anybody, but you know, obviously when you're competing against someone, it's completely different than when you're with someone.
So what has this experience so far been like for you?
It's been awesome. You know, I feel like I tried to play it a little slow, you know, as we were still playing games, not get too excited or anything. But now that the games are over and the break has officially started, really allowing myself to enjoy the moment.
Kershaw explained how much this means to him to start the game. Just what's your feelings about that?
I think it's awesome, you know, for Kershaw to get the start and for all the things that he's done for, you know, the Dodgers and LA and the whole LA community. I think it's going to be really special.
And then what's it like to play in your first All-Star game in your home stadium?
I think it's going to be awesome. You know, it's going to be nice to have the home fans behind us, and it's going to be a really cool experience.
First All-Star game. It went by so quick. I think, you know, you were so anxious to do everything, and it's it was a great experience. Got to obviously be on the field with all the best players. So.
Who were you most excited to talk to at that game when you were sitting in the dugout?
Whew, I don't even remember. I think everybody, just not one guy stands out. I think, when you get your first All-Star, I think, meeting all the guys. I just saw him on the field, so I'm looking forward to it. Happy for him, and you never know, he might win this thing.
I'm excited for my family. I think, I always say that the awards are kind of for them and for my mom and dad, and so it's good because I'm playing well. So that's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, no, it's hard to do, and something that you shouldn't take for granted. So I'm excited to be here.
It's like knowing you're playing with so many teammates.
Yeah, it's huge. I think more should be here personally, and I'm glad Freddie got added because he should have been here a while ago. But that's the hard thing, is there's so many deserving players. There's so many guys around the league that are playing well. So, unfortunately, some guys are left out, but I'm glad a lot of us are here and get to share this experience together. It's big. I think it's important for baseball and the game, and hopefully the stadium's really loud for us tomorrow and maybe today a little bit. But I wish somebody was in the home run derby, but it is what it is. So hopefully next few days is a lot of fun for us. But yeah, I feel like it's a really good field this year. I feel like they did a really good job getting guys to come out. I'm excited for Albert. I'm excited for Schwarb, Juan, Corey Seager. There's a lot of good hitters out there. So I'm excited for it. I think this year's going to be really, really good.
Freddie, it's such an honor to play in this game. What's it like for you? How has it changed over the years?
The changing is my sons. Obviously, my two other ones that will never remember this, so hopefully I make another one when they're old enough. But for Charlie and his excitement, that's what it's all about for me now. He was pretty sad that I hadn't made it yet, so when I told him yesterday that I made the All-Star team, he was overjoyed.
And so we saw you out with Clayton Kershaw and his son Charlie
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago. How did the Charlies get along?
Oh, they get along great. He's already asking, because my Charlie's in the clubhouse, because all my family's not here in Los Angeles, so I had to bring him. And I guess Charlie, because we pulled in together, me and Clayton, and Charlie, he said Charlie's on his way, and Charlie's all excited. He keeps asking where Charlie Kershaw is for the last hour, so hopefully Charlie gets here soon.
I was incredibly, grateful and thankful. There's a lot of guys that are really deserving, and so to even be in the conversation was really an honor. No, I think it was maybe in the locker room in the clubhouse, but I heard rumors of that.
Yeah, you were playing catch with Clayton on Saturday. At that point, did he know yet or not know yet?
No, he did not know. I know for sure he didn't know at that point, but we kept telling him, like, hey, you got to be starting this thing. You got to. But no, he's like, I don't think so. I don't know. But I think he takes everything so very, very serious. He's not the type to kind of goof off or mess around for anything. And I think that you'll see him prepare and get ready for that game just like he does any other game. And I think once you step on the mound too, your blood starts flowing and the excitement's there, and you don't want to, you want to get the guys out.
It is my last one, for sure. But really excited, just to be back here at Dodger Stadium last year. Being here for 4.5 months, I had a really great time with this organization last year. So just being back here and just, getting another opportunity to be in the All Star Game, just to celebrate with my family and friends, just going to be awesome.
When did you hear that they were going to add the legends in you and Miguel?
Probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and I got a call from the commissioner, and I was really honored and humbled, to receive that call. And just to be here and be part with the best players in the game right now, just going to try to have a good time and enjoy it.
Shohei, how does this All-Star Game feel differently for you than the last one?
今年のオールスターは去年と何かどういう違いを感じますか？
去年はなんですかね、すごい緊張しましたけど、今年はなんか楽しめてる方に少し違うかなと思います。
I was a lot more nervous last year because it was my first time, but it's my second time around, so I think I'm having more fun.
Who are you most excited to see in the home run derby tonight?
ホームランダービーで誰を一番楽しみですか、見るのは。
なんですかね、プオール選手はさっきも話しましたけど、はい、見てみたいなというか、頑張ってほしいなという気持ちは強いかなと思います。
Yeah, I have to say Albert Pujols. He was my teammate. I just talked to him right now a little earlier, and I'll be rooting him on. I definitely had time to talk with the guys, especially in the clubhouse. We had some downtime, so we had some good conversations.
Is that some of the most fun that you have at these games? Is just getting to know guys that you usually play against?
それもオールスターの一番の楽しみなんですか？いつも交流できない選手たちと交流する。
そうですね、ロッカーを共有するってことはまずないですし、 球場の中でというか、そのフィールドの外で話すような機会はあんまりないので、すごいいい経験かなと思います。
Yeah, definitely. I never really get a chance to talk with these guys, especially in the same locker room or even outside the stadium. So it was a really good time.
Shohei, how does this All Star Game feel differently for you than the last one?
今年のオールスターは去年と何かどういう違いを感じますか？
去年はなんですかね、すごい緊張しましたけど、今年はなんか楽しめてる方に少し違うかなと思います。
Yeah, I was a lot more nervous last year because it was my first time, but I mean it's my second time around, so I think I'm having more fun.
Who are you most excited to see in the Home Run Derby tonight?
ホームランダービーで誰を一番楽しみですか、見るのは？
なんですかね、プオール選手はさっきも話しましたけど、はい、見てみたいなというか、頑張ってほしいなという気持ちが強いかなと思います。
Yeah, I have to say Albert Pujols. He was my teammate. I just talked to him right now a little earlier, and I'll be rooting him on.
All right, Nick, thank you so much for being with us. And I have a feeling the next time that you see Nick on playing the field, we're going to be having a very, let's just say, inspired debate about football. So you will not want to miss that.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. Can I go get my beer now? I'm on break.
Yes.
It's part of baseball, y'all. You got to go grab a beer and a hot dog.
That's
Come on.
right. I'll have a Diet Coke. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. MLB All Star Week right here in Los Angeles. Remember, you can watch Playing the Field whenever you want, 24/7 at playingthefieldtv.com, and you will not want to miss my next show when I will take you behind the scenes at NFL training camps. That's my favorite season. Is that a season? Well, this one's been pretty good too. All right, I'm Maria Serrao. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time.